Welcome to Bragging Rights, season 3, episode 25. I just want to point out, before we get into it, we are recording a day early. It is Sunday the 12th of July. We normally record on a Monday, so there's a couple of things that we're not going to be able to do. There's a game on at the minute. I think it's the Saints versus Toulouse. That's on right now, so we can't give like a full update on our predictions from last week, unless we make this last a while.
Could give score updates, but what's the point? They're probably watching it.
Yeah, they're probably watching it. So yeah, we can't do that.
We're going to go allowed to come in now. Toulouse have scored. Have they?
Don't know, Jeff. And we also can't give any sort of disciplinary updates or anything, because obviously that's not coming out until tomorrow.
We could make them up.
We could try, yeah, but I wouldn't know.
The disciplinary don't even know what they're going to give. What chance have we got making it up?
I mean, they just seem like they're making it up anyway, so
exactly,
we can do as good a
If
job.
they're making up, why can't we? Just think about the things we've achieved in this podcast. We give Knighteds out, why can't we give bands out to Super League players?
Wow.
Proper throwing you off your opener, haven't we?
You have. But I'm going to ask how everyone is. I'm going to start here and work that way. You going last, because I know you've got...
I'm alright.
Yeah, but... Abel, how are you?
Sound.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Josh, how are you?
Good, we're excited, me and Abel. We go away tomorrow.
We do.
Where are you going?
The Open, big golfing trip. 7 boys, 1 cabin. We'll all survive.
That sounds sweaty as fuck.
Lots of balls, many cups.
I think you know most of the 7 that are going.
Nice.
I'm just saying, I don't believe all 7 will get in the hot tub. But we're going to try.
Call it a soup kitchen.
Wait, sure.
Call it a soup kitchen.
You literally are on the same cabin, knowing how he snores.
It's no. It's actually like a decent house. Abel's done a great job what he found. It's like a proper. I don't want to say like house, but it is a house.
It goes by a lodge, I think.
Yeah, it goes by a lodge, but it's a big one. It looks like someone to get married in, and these like multiple rooms and
wings.
a big. I'll show you later on. Honestly, you can look at me like that's too nice for you 7 to be on a boozing golf. I promise you, it's far too nice.
Fair enough.
But that's why we'll be good, because despite the rugby, we now get a week off at the Open and playing golf, and then I go immediately on holiday after that. So
It's also why we're recording a day early, because golf apparently supersedes rugby.
Neither of them got an answer to
you
that.
will need to tune into my golf podcast to hear the answer to that.
Is that one sponsored by Reddit as well?
Craig, how are you?
I'm
Big
alright.
day today.
It was. I'm a bit sore, bit leggy.
Time to get up.
What time did I get up? 7:30 this
Did
morning.
you stay up for the football as well?
I did, yes.
You must be knackered.
And then didn't go to bed till about 1:30 because I couldn't fall asleep.
And then ran 10k.
And then I did run 10k, yeah.
Did you run it? Walk it?
For the
jog
most
it?
part.
Yeah.
I did it without stopping.
Not that it matters.
That's
by
the main
way.
thing.
Not that it matters, but
Yeah, I'd probably say 3/4, 80% was running, and then get a bit of oxygen back in lungs because I haven't run that far in 10 years, so... Yeah.
good effort. Yeah. Good effort. We'll speak more about that in a bit, though, won't we, sir?
Yeah.
But well done, Paul. We're
Cheers.
very
Thank you.
pleased for you.
Well done. Where's your medal?
I know, I said to Dean I should have brought it, but I forgot it. So
It is what it is.
we'll put some photos on the pod if that's in the Instagram if that's all right with you. Captain Podcast over there.
Yeah, maybe I'll figure it out. But yeah, before we move on to KR Wakey, big thanks to Comscaff and for being our main sponsor. Thanks to Tribal for letting us have the upstairs on a day when they're open. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hype on YouTube, and let's move on to.
Do we have to?
Let's talk about Rovers versus Wakefield.
So, what do you want to talk about? Yeah, well, I don't think there's really much me and Josh... Actually, no, there's probably a lot we can say, but...
I've always got a lot to say.
Yeah.
Really?
According to Dean with the voice spikes. Yeah, Josh's is a...
Josh does have a lot
far
to
and
say.
away at the top, yeah.
I look at the audio recording every week and it's
Yeah.
Josh's like, and loads of us are like,
Give me a platform, I'll take it.
fair enough.
Well, that's it, innit? Yeah, it was... Wakefield were the better of 2 on the day, very poor sides. We offered literally nothing in attack. Literally nothing. That was proven in the fact that we didn't actually score a try. which is the first time since the grand final of 24, I believe I was informed.
Yeah, 2024 grand final, 6-2 against Wigan, obviously, when we lost there.
9-2.
Yeah, 9-2. It's flipped upside down, haven't I?
Yeah.
I actually had that discussion with so many people leaving the game on Saturday, just because speaking to everybody leaving the ground, and then I went to get some tea, so I was in Chippy, and I spoke to a few Rovers fans in there, and it just felt like I was saying to everyone, I was like, it almost became like a bit of a game. I was like, last time we didn't score a try. And it was amazing how many people just sort of went, I'm not sure, you know. And that, when I woke up today, I sort of went, bit of a positive, really. Imagine having all your fans struggling to remember that. Not that it's a fact that everyone would remember, but it's quite good that it's that far back. You know, when you start putting in over a year since we've lost at home, granted we've lost a home game, we lost against Leeds at Vegas, but it's over a year since we've lost at Craven Park. We haven't not scored a try since the 2024 grand final.
I wonder when the last time we didn't concede at home was.
Didn't score at home?
Yeah, sorry, that one.
I don't know that one. But yeah, and you said a point there, Craig. I just wanted to back you up on it and say I agree with it. It's not to take away from Wakey. I think we always say this when we've lost a game. They were the better side for sure. And I do think, Dean said this to us outside before we started recording, you know, they're starting to look like a serious contender, which is great to see with Wakey. Their transition and coming up into the upper teams is great. But it has to be said, it wasn't a good game, and it did look like two poor teams. I don't think it was good rugby or a game for the ages.
Yeah, as I said to Abel on the way here, it very much felt like the team that executed the game plan the best came out on top. And Wakefield did that. They know that their backs can't match our backs for the most part. Yet you look at the forwards, they've got players like McMeekin, Vitili, Tavanga, and the other Tavanga, and they played to that strength. They battered us down the middle.
Our forwards were decimated. We was ran over through the forwards, and they set up a platform to win from that, and we had nothing to match it. Now, easy cop out on this one. Mentioned about how much we miss Hadley in the middle. It's not just about his defensive capabilities, it's about his leadership capabilities. He reads the game phenomenally, and he plugs the gaps, he tells people where to plug the gaps, he smartens us up, he has those words, he goes under the radar, and if we hadn't have won stuff last year, he would still be an under radar, underrated player. But there's no coincidence that without him, we look worse in the middle. And obviously Amon missing doesn't help as well, but Hadley's the one I'm particularly insistent about.
Yeah, it was one of those ones. It was very frustrating. Like, Wakefield didn't really have to work for any of their tries, like any of their three tries. It was just awful defence for all three that let them in, really. And that's very frustrating to see on a team that, over the past 18 months or so, has prided itself on its defence. And yeah, it was just a hard one to take. We weren't very smart. Again, we didn't respect the ball. That was shown with like Hiku throwing the ball into touch on after a set restart and things like that. And it was just very, very frustrating to watch from the stands.
There was the story of the game for me, bizarrely, is all about the first half, because we went in tied.
Yeah, 6
and
each.
we didn't look good. Now, I was watching back a bit of the highlights this morning, and the commentator said at 39 minutes and I think it was 51 seconds, hopefully we'll see a game of rugby in the second half. Yeah. And that was their view, because we didn't really get to see that. It was stop-start, there was a lot of errors, there was a lot of ill-discipline, particularly on Rover's side. I've got no qualms with Hiku simbing in.
No, definitely
not. He saw the man pass the ball, he tied one shoelace, he tied the other one, he ran back to the changing room to change his top, then he came back on and then he hit the man. And then I've got the fans around me screaming, saying, that's never a penalty. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there was a few around me that said the same thing, and we're like, he's hit him a second and a half after the ball's gone.
Nah,
like, he's took 2 steps or so, and then he's hit him.
He's at least got time to, yes, make contact, but not have to.
But he didn't even have to make the contact.
Yeah.
There was enough space between the two players. This is what I talked about not making smart decisions yesterday. There was enough time from that ball being passed. I think it was Cam Scott, I think, the left centre. It might not have been Scott, but anyways, Hiku wasn't even committed to that challenge. Like, it's not like he was already making the tackle. He made that decision after the fact to hit the player after the ball had gone. And from a player with Hiku's experience, that's poor to see.
Look, we can only guess, but let's say, as a guess, he was frustrated. And the frustration comes, because we'll talk about it, because it was going to come up anyways, we'll talk about the referee. Now, I've seen a lot of different opinions on this. There is no doubt that we played in the Kendall show. There's a reason that's a known saying around rugby league, about making the show about him. What I will say though is, didn't really get anything wrong. To the letter of the law, everything he was giving was pretty much correct. Now, are we very frustrated, particularly about this dissent rule, where we've been done for dissent twice in the opening minutes? When did this become such a heavily regulated thing of our sport? Was the teams told before this weekend? Is it particular words you can't use? Is it just our game that we've started it on?
I believe that there was a meeting, an RFL meeting with the referees in the lead up to this round, where they were told certain things that were getting out of control and they needed to bring it back in. Ruck speed was one of them, which was evident in our game, and dissent might have been another one.
And it did go both ways. He gave one to them. I was mad. If we're aware of it beforehand, and I don't know if the players were or not, then I'm mad at conceding one. I'm really mad at conceding two. You don't make the same mistakes twice, right?
Give away fault penalties with the ball.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
Stupid.
That's not the referee's fault.
No, definitely
No,
not. Not
and
on
all
them.
It might be frustrating to see it.
Just like your game, all the six agains, and you're like, what's that for? We're all mad at him. What you want is consistency. The problem you've got is, as fans, we're not being made aware of these changes and things that are happening. I told you guys that they'd had a meeting and said they'd been told to make a particular focus on reffing the six agains and speeding the ruck up after a poor Magic weekend. But I can't find a lot in the news about it. I'd heard that separately.
And not only that, he was letting Wakefield slow our ruck down. I put it in the group, I probably worded it wrongly with the emotions over the time. I put,
Doesn't sound like you.
we want to play quick, but Kendall's not letting us. What I meant by that was he's letting Wakefield stay on in that tackle for an extra couple of seconds. We're meant to be speeding the ruck up. That's what the six again's for.
And
it just went by the wayside, which is really, really frustrating.
There's only really a couple of key points that I want to get out today, and this relates to one of them about our game. So as I've said, I don't think Kendall actually made any wrong decisions really. They all get one or two wrong, but across the board he made the right decisions. There was just infuriating and at infuriating times on top of one of our poorest performances for about 2-3 years. So then fans are going to be riled up, and we do see it's quite poor. A guy stands near me. I did actually, bizarrely, I was a bit late getting to the game. I still saw kick-off. I mean, I got there an hour before. I still had time for a pint or two. But that's like late.
Late.
That's late for me. But it meant that for some reason I saw more people. I saw loads of people. I saw Obbo's brother Sam, Joel, George Walker, people I used to play with. But there's a guy who stands near me, and I can't decide if I know him or don't. I know he might have gone to CrossFit. He might tell us I don't know Jim right. There's a guy called Josh. Josh Lamping. Fantastic beard, if anyone knows him. Anyways, he was the
I recognise the name.
Yeah, he was the recipient of a free pant from me several weeks back. Right?
It must be a friend.
And it was the first time I'd spoke to him, but they poured extra in anyways. He came over to chat to me at half time, and he was saying about the pod, and it was like great to catch up with someone. But one of the things that he said to me was he was asking for my thoughts on, we've managed to level this game up at 6-all. And me and Craig agreed with this in the group. We felt that taking the 2 points when we was a man down off Thiku Simbinin, every chance we got was the right decision. It got 2 points on the scoreboard, but it also ran down the clock for 90 seconds or so, waiting for the man to come back on so he wasn't disadvantaged. Now, your dad, Mike Abel, messaged me last night, fuming with the decisions. He sees it as weak, and he sees it as, as if anyone doesn't realise how big your dad is a massive Rovers fan, you being FC, you might have not said before. He felt it was weak, he'd like to see us go over the line, we disagree. But one of the things that he was saying to me was this, Josh, it's a spoiling tactic, isn't it, though? Because what they're saying is they're quite happy to concede the penalty. They're backing themselves to go on and win this game. They're not bothered. They're saying, actually, we'd rather slow you down here, and yeah, you've probably got 2 at post, but we're 4-0 up. Oh, we're still 4-2 up. Oh, it's 4-all now. Now we've got a penalty, it's 4-6. And it sort of goes against a bit of the integrity of the sport, but it's also really intelligent play. Because ultimately, they was proved right. We didn't score any more points after that, and they went on to manage to get tries in the second half. And I thought, so it was a real good sort of, usually at half time, people complain, talk about stuff, but this Josh come up and made some real good points, and I thought, yeah, it does spoil it in a way, and that's why the commentators are saying hopefully there's a game of rugby in the second half. But what a game plan by Warrington.
Wakefield.
I was about to say something about Warrington and Wigan, that's why I didn't say Wakefield. I was ranting one night.
But yeah, it is to an extent, and if that's their game plan, then fair play to them. They've executed it to the letter. But in that situation, I thought it was the right decision to take the 2 points twice. We actually won both sin bin periods. We had a man sin bin, they had a man sin bin. We won 4-0 and 2-0. So, in that moment, obviously it's proven right. The old saying goes, a sin bin costs you 12 points. It didn't cost us any. It gained us 4, and it only cost Wakefield 2. But in that moment, the way that how tense the game was, I turned around to somebody and said, it has a feel of a bit of playoff rugby about it. I don't know if that was the atmosphere with Kendall getting everybody's backs up, with implementing the new rules or whatever, but it really did feel like a bit of a playoff game. The East End was bouncing for 20-25 minutes of that first half.
Phenomenal noise to start that game.
Yeah, so for me it's just a very, very frustrating day at the office.
There's not a lot that concern it, but another point that I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned before we wrap up is broken record. Give us a team that are outside the top 6, we'll play poorly, because that's what we've done for the last 5-6 rounds, and we'll beat you. Give us a team in the top 6 and we're going to struggle. And that's just what's happening. And the answer to that, is it the frustration or distraction of Willie leaving? Maybe. Is it players that look like, as I said last week, climb that mountain and they can't climb it again? I don't know, but this is my favourite thing that I read online this weekend. Wigan fan. Winning the quadruple was clearly the worst thing to happen to Hull KR.
When did you do that?
Right? Didn't. Won the treble and then we won a trophy this year. Fan.
We held all 4, but it wasn't a quad.
Great response from a Rovers fan here. Might be a hard thing to fathom as a Wigan fan, but believe me, a year that we're sat in 5th in the table after 17 games is extremely worth it to me to have won the treble last year. And that's forgetting that he didn't even mention that we've got a game in hand.
Yeah.
And I just sat there, and then the Wakefield fan replied, joined in the conversation, said, I'd bite your hand off for even one trophy and to finish 5th next season. Ha ha. And I thought, what a way to bring a crash back down to earth and go. It's sort of really back to the point that I said to you guys in the group post game last night. It's a cop out, but I'll keep using it. I'll trade anything to make sure I keep what we had last year. I really would. It's unfathomable what we achieved, and it doesn't change on the day. The frustration. We've got some big questions to ask. I'm sure there'll be big questions to ask next year with a new coach, potential new players. We know what people are leaving. We've got a question on this later, which we'll probably dig into where we think we need replacements. But ultimately, it's rugby and it's great, isn't it? And look, if there's a team I'm happy to have come and taken, finally beaten as a Craven Park in over a year, Wake is probably the team I'm the most happy about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other teams that have warmed me up.
I had some good chats with Wakefield fans at Magic Weekend, so my respect for them grew a little bit more than it already had. So, like you say, if there was a team going to come here and beat us and turn us over on our own day, then you couldn't look any further than Wakefield, I don't think. But how else before we wrap it up?
I think the other thing the ref did get wrong, and I'd like to watch it back to fully check, as to say I've praised Kendall and think he got it right. There was 3 on the bounce penalties where we didn't get a sin bin.
I called this.
And we did see Bentley go for that the previous night in the Wire game, and it felt from the stand very similar, and it just showed a bit of inconsistency. But I didn't want it to be a major argument because it wouldn't have changed the outcome of the game, I don't believe. Never know, things do change when you have another man down. But it did feel like another example of inconsistency.
Yeah.
But, no, ultimately my wrap-up is I'm really disappointed. I thought we was really poor, I thought we was really ill-disciplined. As always, we will always trust in Willie because we'll never lose that. We could lose every game the rest of this season, I'd still say the same thing, especially when I was leaving. So we go again for Wire next week for me.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. So just a couple of Rovers results to round up with then. It wasn't a pretty week for the Robins. Our Scottish side lost 34-22 against Wakefield, and our women's has literally just been posted on the Hull KR X page. They lost 42-10 away at Warrington. And another gripe of mine, which I do have about the club, is the PDRL, the wheelchair teams. None of their results ever seem to get put on. They seem to get...
Are they on the foundation page?
Yeah, I've had a look on the foundation page, yeah. But I've got that they both played, but...
Don't know how they did.
Don't know how they did because they haven't put a
comms,
result on. So, I mean, it only takes 1 minute just to put a post on, just saying 164-28 or reverse or whatever. But hey ho, that's my gripe for the week.
Bragging Rights is proudly sponsored by Comscaf. Hull's own Comscaf have been keeping things safe and steady for over 30 years, providing professional scaffolding services nationwide. If you need a team you can trust for your next project, big or small, head to comscaf.co.uk or give them a call on 01482 782 181.
It's back. The Jimmy Sai is back.
That game was worth a sigh, wasn't it? Like
It was real bad.
it's real bad. Oh God.
That's the type of game that gives you PTSD.
Wasn't just.
You remember it. You remember it in a couple of weeks' time.
No, yeah. I mean, I can't.
At the end of the day, you can't play for 20 minutes in a good patch around 60 minutes of absolute awfulness and expect a result. I don't even know if we beat Huddersfield. I don't even know if we beat Huddersfield with that performance.
We wouldn't. That is genuinely the worst 60 minutes of the year for me. That first 20 and that second half, collectively, that's the worst 60 minutes of rugby I've seen from Hull FC this year.
It's the first time you've looked like the 2024 FC team.
That's the first time I've felt like a 2024 fan.
You said that to me on the phone yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah. It was just dire. And I completely agree with Andy Last's words of it was disgusting for a professional athlete to go out and put that in, that performance in, that effort in, and the main word, that attitude into a professional game, that was disgusting. There's not really many other words to say.
I mean, if that's all, if those 60 minutes, if that's all the team's capable of, you can applaud that and go, well, we're just crap. But we showed in the other 20 minutes what we can do if we set our minds to it, and then we just obviously didn't turn up in the opening 20, in my opinion, and then the second half was basically the first 20 all over again.
The
Credit
difference
where it's due to Lasty, because obviously I bagged on him last week. Really rated his post-match comments this week. Put it succinctly into 3 points, pretty much what you guys have said, didn't he? He said, can't only play for 20 minutes, exactly what you said. First 20 of the first half was poor, and the second half was embarrassing. And look, didn't like what he did last few times. I've got some more to talk about him later, but fair play, because he was correct.
I think nearly everyone had a poor game. The only two people that personally showed any type of decent performance for me were Hardacre and Salabia.
Yeah.
We
agree on that.
I think basically everyone else had a 5 or less out of 10 game.
I mean, I sent you a voice note the other day, didn't I? And I went like 1 through 17 and kind of spoke about each player individually, and I forgot. I was like, who was the last player? And I was like, oh, Hugo. No issue with him whatsoever. Like Hugo for me since he's come back, and I'm not going to spend too much time talking about him because overall it's not worth it when you look at the team as a whole. But I've been really impressed with him since he came back, and he's probably, along with Hardacre, who just gave that standard Hardacre performance what you expect from him. Hugo's, it's making it look like, why has he been away, disappeared wherever he's been for so long? But it's not the type of game or podcast to start talking about one player in particular, about whether they're good or bad, because just overall, nothing. And to make it worse, sat in the stands, 2 seats to my right, was the loudest person in the stadium. And what makes it worse is, and I'll ask the question, why is it the people that don't understand the rules shout the loudest about the refs?
I was going to say it was my mum there, but my mum understands the rules because she is probably the loudest. But when you mention
Honestly,
about the rules,
2 seats down, and he's going on and on and on about Tara this, Tara that, why are you doing? Every time we get 3 minutes, every time we do this, she's giving us 6 again. And I'm just sat there thinking, well, why are we still bloody doing it then? like you with the dissent. You get done for dissent once,
You don't
as
do
a
it
team,
again.
you think, he's not taking no shit today, let's keep our mouth shut. You don't keep doing it, but every
Well, we
single
did.
time, we did the same thing over and over and over again. Ruck infringement, 6 again, 6 again, 6 again.
My
Why
favourite
keep
one-
doing it?
Favourite one was the one you messaged about, Abel. You said about they'd scored, and it was off the back of what seemingly was quite harsh penalties. And I said the first one wasn't harsh. Burrow was offside, and he got pinged for it. And you said, I see every player offside all the time in every game, and you're not wrong. You know, it's probably the favourite thing collectively that crowds shout now at Super League games. Offside, offside.
Or forward.
But this is how bad you was. Burrow stood in front of her. Now do it 4 or 5 men down the line and you can get an extra foot, but all she could see was the back of his head, and then it was, you're offside, lad. And then he's like, oh, I'm like, that's how bad you was playing. You just...
That's another thing that annoys me just about fans in general though. Like, if you watch it, yes, by the rules, the ref should retreat 10 and the players should be in line with it. That's typically what's been the case for however. That's not what happens. The ref normally retreats 11, maybe 12 metres so that she can see, or he can see, all the way across with the aid of the linesman or the touch judges or whatever. But the amount of times, oh, you're in front of the ref. Obviously, he's playing the ball on the 10, they stood on the 20, she stood behind the 20. They're still onside if they're in front of the bloody ref.
You'll need to calm him down.
Like, mate, just this twat that was sat to, and I don't care if he watches the pod, you're a twat if you do. Like, just constantly going on. And the worst one, right? So, this is how much you don't understand the rules. So she's giving a 6 again, right? And then she's giving him a 6 again, she's giving him a 6 again. We're in our own 40. And then they do something, and quite, you know, to be fair, I was like, oh yeah, it should have been a penalty. He's like, 6 again, and I'm like, we're in our own 40, you fucking idiot. It's not a 6 again. Like, and that's what made the game worse for me. FC were absolutely gash, but this twat, 2 seats down from me, made my night miserable, because I had earache from it as well.
So was it Jimmy, the 2 kids, and then Dean? Is that what we're saying? Is that?
Think
you want
so.
Dean now?
No, it was Dean's missus. But you talk. I'm done.
You like Hicko? Are you done, lad?
Like I say, me personally, watching the game, I was frustrated with a couple of penalties, similar to what you've said about, I forget the ref's name. Kendall. It was absolutely apparent that someone had said we need to police this more, and it's almost like no one told the players. Now they might have done, and ours might have just been dumb and not listened to what they were told, but we did the same things over and over again, and we got pinged for it over and over again. But it was just one of them where it felt like we got pinged 8 or 9 times, rightly so, and it felt like York got nearly none. And I'm not saying that was the case, it's just how it felt with the way the game sort of flowed. But it's just very frustrating. And like I say, the 20-minute hot streak, the 20-minute purple patch, you just sit there and go, well, I mean, that's the hardest thing in the world to do is stitch a full game together. But you sit there and go, well, we can do that, and then we can be this bad on the same day. It's just infuriating.
Ask you both a question.
No.
Get your response. No, it's not a dig. I've got a dig later on, don't worry.
Only one.
It's right down there with the word dig next to it.
No, I'll do a dig first then.
Oh, go on then.
Ruined it. No, it's better when it flows naturally. But no, I just thought that the scoreline was very apt, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2016. It's the last time you was relevant as a club, so it really fit. Anyways, the question I wanted to ask was somebody online, and I didn't get to. I forgot to note down the name, so I apologise if somebody's made this. It's a really valid point.
So the genuine question you're going to ask, and even your question.
No, I pinched the conversation. I don't know who started it. I was reading it on an online forum, but it was a discussion between York and FC fans and obviously other Super League clubs jumping in. And it said about you went in at half time in a fairly even game, but you guys had obviously had that really good patch and you'd started to come into the game and looked like you'd go on and win. And I actually said to you guys at half time, you now look like the stronger team, especially with the advantage of going in at half time. And somebody said, did we all forget overnight how much we rated Mark Applegarth as a coach? How good he was in the Championship, how successful that team was? And what happened at half time for me, this is what the person said, for me was, he went round his team, he redid the game plan, he set up tactics, and he adjusted how his team came out in the second half. FC went in and went, we think the job's done here, and Andy Last didn't change anything. And that was proven by the second half performance by both clubs and how they went on to win the game.
An assumption, obviously.
An assumption, not real. But I looked at it, I started thinking about the game and I went, I think there's an element of truth to that. Mark Applegarth is a better coach than Andy Last, in my opinion, and I think that was shown. And I think, maybe we have forgot how good he was in the Championship because of the bit of a torrid time that York's had this year. But ultimately, does that give you a bit of confidence that you know that Lasty is stepping down again and that McNamara's coming in? Because you wouldn't expect that to happen under McNamara at half-time.
It does, but it kind of just means that we're yet again in second season mode, doesn't it? Next season mode.
Yeah, it screams Grix.
As with the Cartwright being allowed to leave when we've still got plenty of injuries. Okay, maybe not directly in the second row position, but if we had any aspirations at all for still trying to sneak into the playoffs, you don't let a player go, do you?
No.
Just to obviously to sort of parallel that, we've just lost Matautia back to Leeds because Leeds have gone, well, we're prioritising ourselves. The loan's done. We're taking Matautia back, rightly so, and we had to. We got Aiden back, and I thought that was a direct downgrade. Not like say. To me, Aiden didn't do what Matautia's done. Not that Matautia's necessarily been pulling up trees, but again, it just shows the quality level. And yeah,
that is harsh. But the thing is, harsh for you as fans of the club. But the reality is, you are another rebuild. It is all about next year. This has to be the one where you commit to the 4-5 year game plan, because you don't rebuild in one season, right? And so you have to let this period of work go through without making the mid-year sacking of coaches, the mid-year changes, the mid-year let the players go.
Just to touch on that, I agree. Aiden is a step down from Matautia, and I was quite disappointed when we let him go back. I've really enjoyed watching Matautia in black and white.
I don't think we had a choice with Matautia.
No, I know, yeah, but disappointed either way.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have made any difference whatsoever, because our main downfall was not being mature enough to recognise that the referee is not taking shit with this, and this. So let's be professional and stop doing it. That's all we needed to do. Yeah. We absolutely killed ourselves by allowing the referee to easily just give the same penalty over and over again. You cannot do that at any level of rugby league, let alone Super League. Whether you agree with the penalty or the 6 again or not, as a fan, as a player, it don't matter. Recognise that she's not taking that at all. She's not going to let it happen, and just stop doing it. It's not hard, and that's what was so frustrating. It wasn't just the poor performances or that knock on from Briscoe, that knock on from Bell when we could have had that late opportunity to try and level it back up or take the lead. It was the fact that we killed ourselves with the same penalty 10 times.
It does sometimes feel like, the matches that you kind of can do that, doesn't it, with refs sometimes?
Yep.
It does feel like sometimes you can go, right, okay, we're going to give away 4 sloppy offside penalties, and then we won't get pinged for the rest of the match because they'll go, well, we've already given 4 penalties for offside. And I'm not saying that's necessarily what happens, but sometimes it feels that way, where you can give away some soft penalties and then go, all of a sudden that you're not doing anything different, but the ref perceives it that way, and then all of a sudden you have a squeaky clean 40 minutes on offsides, for example, after being penalised loads.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed to happen, but it feels like it does sometimes.
It does, but do you take any confidence from how close the game finished? And look, in the tussle for 12, if it wasn't for the now famous tackle 37, from McShane on SASA at the end, if it wasn't for that, could have won that game. And we've said for the past few weeks, we're playing poorly and winning games, albeit against maybe better opposition than you had against Thursday night. Do you take any confidence from that? Because you was close, you could have nicked that one.
Genuine answer, and it's going to be the last thing I say because we've got a minute or so to go. The only confidence I take from that game is conversations I've had before and after the game. It's not even about the game. Conversations I've had before and after the game, the only confidence I've got is there are certain players that I'm now aware of that are leaving, and talks are well underway for us to be bringing players in. That's the only confidence I've got, is I know that shit's happening for next season, because there's players that pulled on that shirt against York and against other teams this season that do not deserve the money that I put into the club or to pull that shirt on ever. They're just not putting the effort in. They've got the wrong attitude and they've not got the desire.
Abel, did you take any confidence?
Not especially.
Fancy some news from around the Rugby League world?
News from around the world.
Obviously, as we've already said,
I just got flicked the bed by Dean.
Did you? As Jimmy opened the pod, because we're recording on Sunday, news might be slightly outdated, or there might be some stuff that drops on Monday morning. It usually does, that I'll be missing, but hey ho. 4 points for you today, gentlemen. You might know them, you might not. Let's start with Carl Felt.
It's nearly as many as we scored last week.
Yeah,
last night, sorry.
Carl Felt left Saints under a bit of a cloud. You heard about this, boys?
I heard about this today, yeah.
Moved codes. Gone to go and play Aussie rules football. Should be making his start this coming weekend. He's gone to the Furingawa Bulldogs. How bizarre is that?
Is that a top tier team? I've
I have no idea. Aussie rules is very, very low in my like.
I love Aussie rules, and I don't think it's one of the Premier clubs.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised if he could play one sport for so long and then just bang and flip to another one like
I
that.
didn't recognise the club name. Take all its worth. I feel as though if it had have been one of their top AFL teams, I might have gone, oh yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm right. I just don't know a lot about the sport.
I don't think it is, but I do.
I just don't get it.
Strange, innit?
I understand Gaelic football more than I understand Aussie rules.
Do you understand Quidditch?
Yes.
It's nothing like that.
I thought you meant you don't get him moving. But anyways, that's what he's done. Sticking in Australia, North Queensland prop Matt Lodge. 18 months after he was first rumoured to be coming to the Super League, it now looks like this is going to happen. There's a lot of heavy rumours coming around that he's being shopped around Super League clubs right now. Bit of a beast, to be fair. Decent player, particularly in his prime. I think he's still going pretty strong. What I'm hearing, again, this isn't news, this is just a rumour as part of the news, is that it looks very much like Catalan might be the landing place for this one. But we will wait and find out. But one of the reasons this has come up and Catalan's become one of the first choices, apart from the fact it's often a good landing spot for highly paid Aussie players that come over, is because it looks like in the coming days Catalan will announce the official extension of John Cartwright for 2 years as the head coach. Looks like that's a done deal, but just haven't actually made their official announcement yet. Again, one I expect to see maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday.
Surprising after a couple of their recent results.
I know.
But it's not his squad, is it? So.
No, it's not. And then finally, York Knights look like they're going to get everything off-field sorted. It looks like a big boost, a big injection of cash is coming their way as a new financial takeover comes in from a local businessman. I believe this actually has part of a takeover and an investment into multiple sports in the York area. It's going to be the football club, it's going to be the rugby club, it might be some others as well. Details wait to emerge, but good news for them. I think, we knew they had the financial struggles of late, and it'd be good if they can get through them. So, apart from Cal Felt, 3 of them are big caveated rumours at the minute, but there is a lot of substance to the back of them, and it looks like they could all be coming into fruition in the next few days to week. So we'll wait and see with bated breath. And that was news from around the Rugby League world today, gents.
Interesting. So yeah, once again, thanks to Tribal for hosting us, letting us DOS, watering us as always, even though it is a day when they are open. Obviously, usually we record when they are closed. This week you'll have the 2 semi-finals of the World Cup, I believe, and the World Cup final, and then obviously all the Super League games as well. So if you're at a loose end, get yourself down to Tribal. Great atmosphere, great vibes. We love it here. Obviously we keep coming back, so... And if you've got a season pass, don't forget to bring it with you, and if you have a bill that has food and drink on it, you get 15% off. And also they sell this stuff, which nobody's modelling for me today. Oh, thanks, Josh. It's not the toffee one, so I'm going to... It's not to say that it's not nice.
Bold.
It's just not one of my favourites.
Gold.
Bold, yeah. So yeah, they also sell 7 Gold. Very, very nice drink. That's really annoying me, Josh, thank you. Really, really nice drink. Come in, order a shot, see for yourself, let us know.
They do some funky little cocktails with it now as well.
Oh, there's a standard
Yeah, and I think
cocktails.
you can do the your espresso martini with like a toffee vodka, like a toffee espresso martini.
Abel is aware of this, but a cheeky bottle's coming away on this golf trip with us.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I'd have a toffee and vodka hot chocolate. No, that would be something I'd be interested in.
There's so many variations you could.
There is. Throw them all out there. Send us some suggestions.
What would you do with toffee and vodka?
Toffee and vodka, no toffee and vodka, and banoffee and vodka. Let us know what you'd make cocktail-wise with us, and we'll read the best ones out.
If we've got time.
I'll just do it anyway in the travel section. So.
Speaking of. Speaking of,
Part 2.
yeah, that might sound a bit funny. We had to plug the laptop in before it died. Comment section.
How bad have you got to be with technology that you don't know how to plug a power cord in? I love when he can't defend himself.
I
I'm
cut
not saying
carpets
anything.
for a living.
Oh, I'm not saying no.
I'm sorry, Dean.
I'm not getting involved. Yeah, question time, comment section, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, 2 this week. First one, Josh's friend, who is actually Craig's friend, James Wilson, FC. In regards to next year, where do both teams need to recruit? And then he's put FC easy, I think everywhere. KR, more nuanced recruitment needed, question mark.
For me, forwards. We were very light in the forwards this weekend, just gone. And that showed. Players like Luckley, another year in his legs. Don't get me wrong, I won't slag the guy off because I love the man, but another year in his legs, and you could kind of see that he wasn't match fit yesterday. It wasn't his usual sort of punchy self getting through the line and this, that and the other. Massively missed Tom Amone, Dean Hadley, as Josh alluded to earlier. And maybe a specialised hooker as well, because he doesn't seem to favour Bill Leyland, unless Kalis likes Leyland, then we'll see.
We are more nuanced. I think it's a good question. I think that's the right way to put it. Straight off the bat, the easiest one to talk about, Reece Martin is retiring. So we want a second row there. Now, Morg's fit, you've got a kicker, so you're not worried about the kicking. Mikey can do a good to decent job at kicking if we need a backup, so I'm not worried on that front. I think across our back line, it's pretty steady. I think you keep Broadbent there for his utility value. You're looking like you might get another year or two out of your Davies, your Budgies, you know, Hiku.
He was very off the pace.
He was. So yeah, I kind of agree with the forwards. Now, again, hearsay, there's different things I'm hearing surrounding why we're not seeing Leyland as much as we'd like. I think these salary cap rules around Lawton playing and things like that. At the end of the day, our team may look maybe not significantly different, but to Rovers fans, significantly different next year. We might move a few players on. Kalis might come in and have his own view of what he wants. There are a few players right now that look like, as I've said before, they've climbed the mountain once and they can't do it, and they're probably not at that peak. I think you're looking at people like Mini, who's looking a bit tired and a bit drawn.
I think that showed in the fact that we're spelling him a lot more this season.
So I think we probably only expect 3 or 4 changes. The major one starting with that, looking at, we know that Martin is retiring, so who do you swap for? Now, I was sent a list the other day of people that are linked to Kalis. Massive list of names. Kelma Tuolagi, Ryan Mattison, Tony Matelli, Junior Paulo, Sam Tuavati, all these players that have got...
You're going to be well over the salary cap with all that.
This is the point. Honestly, it keeps going. Teacon Brown, Richard Penasini, Jake Tiger, Ronald Voltman, Daniel Tupou. There's all these names, right, that some of them are just like ridiculous. You know, it's almost like, and while we're at it, Darren Lockyer has come out of retirement as well and playing for us. But the point being is, there's a direct link between Mattison, a direct link to where this information's come from. It looks like we might be targeting to improve our squad next year. Yeah. And I think that's where you will see 4 or 5 changes. Now, another one, just to sort of add on top of that, a little bit where to change. We've actually made a change quite quietly in the last few weeks in regards to our backroom staff and the physios. We was unimpressed with the way some people were performing, and quietly we've moved some people on and brought some new people in, so that we are confident with the way we're treating injuries, we're treating people's physio and rehab and things like that. And I wonder where we might see changes there as well, if Mattison's got the people... Right, Mattison. if Kalis has got the people that he might see there. So it's not as obvious for OKR where you want to make it, but I think if you wanted to pick out what stands out, it's definitely somewhere towards the forwards first.
Definitely.
Is the long answer.
I think for me, I said it a couple of weeks ago, whoever it is you bring in, you've still not, and I think it was evident this week, especially against Wakefield, you've still not replaced JWH. Yes, you brought him on in, you've not replaced JWH. And that leadership,
or Mickey
that
Mack
experience, or Mickey Mack. I think if you guys, if your team want to remain where you are, or push on and get closer back to where you were last year, I really think, in my opinion, what you need is another really strong, really experienced leader that's not going to allow the crap that happened yesterday to happen, at least not to the extent it happened. You know, if JWH is on the pitch and Mickey Mack's on the bench or on the pitch, that game doesn't end the way it ends for me. I think, yeah, you might have lost. You wouldn't have lost the way you lost. It wouldn't have been that big of a scoreline, and you might have at least put enough effort in to score a try. But yeah, from an outsider looking in, I think you need that type of player to come in. So, in terms of FC, Abel's got a list.
Is it as long as Josh's?
And every single player on it is getting sacked.
There's three for me. So it's halfback / fullback. Depends on where you're going to play Price. Realistically, do you sign a fullback and move Price into the halves? Do you leave Price on the at fullback but then sign a halfback?
It's got pros and cons in both positions.
I don't rate our current set of halfbacks myself. I think there's glimpses in Arthur that I think he's worth sticking with for now.
I think as well, this is based on the assumption that Hodgson's not being confirmed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Centre, because at the minute, as much as I did not like when we signed Hardacre, and he's done nothing but prove me wrong since he's been at the club.
It's proved everyone wrong, mate.
At this point in time, he should not be a starting centre because he's just not got the pace anymore for me. And we've got, aside from Litton, we've got no one else that's a starting centre.
Yeah,
and as we've found out, Briscoe's not so.
We found that out last year.
You all hate my suggestion, but I'll say it one more time. I want to see Barron have a go in the centre sphere. Briscoe can move back to that wing in a heartbeat because he knows how to play it and he shouldn't be caught out as much. And try and tell me again that Barron's a specialised winger and I'll tell you to watch the game from Thursday night because he didn't even look like a winger, let alone a specialised one, right? Give him a go at centre and it might solve some of your problems, but I digress.
I think my point on that, I think physically Barron's capable of playing centre. I think he's up there. He's got the power to play centre.
Centre's one of them weird positions, though, isn't it?
But yeah, centre's one of the hardest positions to play in rugby league. I mean, you two all know that. I mean, look at you, decent rugby league players. Even you couldn't fucking look good playing centre. So
it was easy.
You know,
run, tackle, pass the ball
to your non-specialised winger.
No, I think I see a little bit of merit in it, but I disagree with what you're saying in terms of Barron not being a specialised winger. You can't judge anyone on Thursday's game. He's still a young lad. He's still learning.
Don't use that as an excuse. I've been saying this for 4 weeks. It's not just on that one poor performance because you was all poor and both you were poor on Thursday. I was saying I think he could play centre, and now that the club's pretty much confirming that you've given up on the season with the Cartwright thing, the players are giving up with the performance that they gave for 60 minutes on Thursday night. What's the harm in doing it?
If the club don't see him long term as a centre, that's the harm. Keep him playing where they see him long term. And if they don't see Briscoe as getting a renewal and they have written it off, just keep letting him play a position that he's not going to play next year anyway. So, but yeah.
And then other one was just props because at the minute we've got SASA, Hill, Lissoni and Laidlaw signed up beyond next year. At the minute we've got Sau, Fash, Aiden and Salabio at the minute all out of contract at the end of the year. So if all of those do leave, which we may be hearing rumours otherwise, we're light a prop or two there for me.
Out of them four, the only one based on recent performances that I would be inclined to keep would be Hugo.
I agree.
I don't think he costs a lot.
Oh, what about Hill?
Hill's signed.
Hill's already signed up for next year.
So the
sorry.
Southend in fashion Hugo.
I've heard that one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'd keep Hugo. I think his effort, his determination. I think it's a French thing. I think I said it on that voice note I sent the other day. For whatever reason, whenever Hull sign a French player, or any team sign a French player, don't matter whether they're world beaters or not, you get 100% from them every single time they sit on the pitch. Hugo, Romano's done it for us in the games that he played, and the one that I remember, which I actually don't remember his name, Malaudi, Hakim Malaudi, wasn't a great player overall, but every time he pulled on black and white, every time he played for London, every time I saw him play for Toronto, the kid ran his heart out for the full game, or however long he was on the field. I think it's a French thing. It's definitely not an English thing. But yeah, I would keep Hugo. But we are hearing rumours that Aiden's staying as well.
We actually, just to back your point, I would say we could probably add to that, because in terms of that, we have that with Morg.
We had it with Couturier when he was there. I know it's different levels, but
I'd argue Desiree is showing it now.
And Desiree. He was probably the only player to come out Friday last night with any credit for me, I think. He was solid. Yeah. Ran well, tackled well.
So maybe you've got a point. Maybe something in the French blood.
Yeah. Have you got any more on your list?
Not as far as signings. Only thing to say is obviously we might have done better than all them with the backroom staff that we've already started to sign, and we may have more coming up.
Yeah, we know there's a lot leaving, and we've heard rumours of a few incoming, but we're not going to say anything because we ain't got confirmation of either officially. So
ignore the fact I'm using the horrible word rebuild. In this rebuild, that is the most important part for you guys.
100%. Yeah. But on the field, where you've not mentioned yet, second row. Second row needs work.
Even after signing O'Neill.
Yeah,
so
I think for all his injury issues, Jed Cartwright, as a player, when fit, when firing, fantastic player. I can see why Saints have taken a punt, because whatever team he goes to, if they can keep him fit, they have got a top second rower. And as much as O'Neill's a decent player, he's put in real good graft throughout his entire career. He's done a real good job wherever he's gone. I don't put him in the same bracket at peak performance. And I see second row as it is a very important position. I would like to see another top second rower come in, potentially at maybe a quarter. I don't really care if it's a quarter or a British player, but I would like to see a top level starting second rower. You know, the type of player where you get your team sheet out and you don't start at fullback. You put that player's name in. You know, like what we had with Ellis. Do you know what I mean? Ellis was second row, played a bit of prop and 13, whatever, but he was the first name on the team sheet. I want that type of player in at second row because I think we desperately need that. Still. But
can I ask you a question on that?
Yeah.
What we're doing about Hooker?
Oh, I think Hooker's sorted.
The Costa coming in, haven't we?
And based on what I've just said about French players, I'm more looking forward to the Costa than I think a lot of players.
What's happening with the other hookers you've got right now? What's happening to Kate Cust, to Amir Burrow, and what's happening to David Bamford?
We don't know, but it sounds... Andy Last was asked about Bamford on Humberside after the York game, and he pushed it to one side and says that's a question for Richie Myler. And I think, judging by other interviews that were done on the York side of things, it sounds like he's staying at York, which a bit disappointing because I think, especially going forward, the kid's got a lot of potential, but just doesn't put the effort in defence, and we need that. So we've got. I don't know what's happening with Cust. I've heard rumour he's staying. I don't know what he's going to do. I'm not against him staying. I do think he puts effort in. He needs to work on things, especially recently. But I think with Da Costa coming in, if Cust is staying, that for me means Burrow's gone. Because Burrow, he's not going to stick around and be second or third choice. And when you've got potentially you'll have DeCosta, you'll have Cust and Hutchinson. I'd play all three of them over Amir Burrow. So for me, I think Amir Burrow's gone. I just don't know where, and I've had no confirmation otherwise. I'm making assumptions, I'm guessing, but that's what I'd do. I'd have DeCosta starting, Cust in, and then I'd have Hutchinson filling in when he can to keep building, and then when Cust leaves, Hutchinson moves up.
Okay.
So I'll start off with a little bit of unfortunate news from our monthly shout-outs, just to give you all a bit of an update. Remember we spoke about Liam and Danny, who were doing the run from west to east to raise money for Alcohol Change UK, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Danny had to cut the challenge short, unfortunately, and was unable to complete it. His feet were massively swollen and full of blisters, so from a medical standpoint he has had to withdraw himself from doing it. Mentally he was fine, and he wanted to keep pushing, but with other advice it was decided that it was best if he didn't, just to not cause him any sort of longer term problems or anything like that. He tried pushing himself a little bit too hard and is very, very gutted about the fact that he has had to medically withdraw. So, but it's a phenomenal effort what he managed to put in. He got over the Pennines, which is no mean feat in itself. You know how high it goes. It's the highest motorway point. I know you won't go through the motorway, but it's the highest motorway point in England, I believe. So, unfortunately,
Ed Eldai.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Don't be disheartened by it. I know in the moment you're going to be, but in the future, everybody here, I'm sure, wants you to hold your head high and just be proud of what you've achieved.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
We're certainly proud of you, so well done.
And then on to mine, which we briefly spoke about in the intro from Jimmy. I did my 10k run this morning. I have not done one for 10 years. Was the last time I think I probably moved that far, including on a rugby pitch, and I managed to get all the way around without stopping. I said to the guys, probably 80% of it I was at a jogging speed, so unfortunately I wasn't able to get under my hour, which I wanted to, but that's a target for moving forward, and if they do it again next year, I'll hopefully do it again next year. And thanks to all your efforts, I've actually managed to raise £525 so far on my own. And when I saw Craig this morning at the run, I was at 395, but I've had a little bit of a push since then, and he was blown away by 395. So to be able to break my target of 500 and ongoing is phenomenal. So thank you to everybody who's done that and helped raise money for a massive cause. Obviously it's an ongoing thing, it's not just this run's done, that's it. There'll be stuff moving forward with the MND Association and things like that. So any awareness you can spread, any donations, any purchases you make of any clothing or pin badges, pens, they do all sorts, you know. So have a look if it takes your fancy. And I did get one of the messages on my Just Giving page, just really quickly, just to finish off, because I thought it's quite a poignant message. A guy called Martin, great cause. My dad died nearly 40 years ago from MND. He wasn't a sportsman, and the common denominator at the time was cement. However, rugby, and then in brackets my sport, has really helped push for a cure for this. So obviously it was close to him, and your donations go further than you actually realise. So yeah, if you can, the QR code, get me words out, is on the screen. It should be there for the duration of this little section. So if you can, please donate. If not, just share with a friend, they might be able to, or they might share it with their friend who might be able to, and every little helps, whether it's £1, £5, £10.
Just for the people that are listening as well,
Oh yeah.
the link will be in the description on whether it's Apple or Spotify or whatever.
Us, Saturday, Warrington away. I genuinely don't know. Like, I'm hoping It's a case of Warrington are really, really struggling at the moment as well. We might get a couple of bodies back, not suffer anything. Hopefully Mikey Lewis don't get fingered by the disciplinary panel for his mouthing off. And just hopefully it's a sort of game where we can right a few of the wrongs from the past couple of weeks and move forward.
There isn't a whole lot to say about it. It's an away game.
No, that's what I was struggling with.
It's an away game. It's Wire. Wire are fraudulently in their position, according to many in the Super League. But you also don't win that many games and be in that position at this point of the season if you don't know how to put results together or you don't know how to play. It can't all be luck at some point, can it?
No.
And therefore, it will be a challenge. They won't roll over. They've got some great youngsters. Young Ewan Irwin. Silly haircut, but he's a great lad.
Brad Fash.
He has got a silly name as well. But we should be good enough to beat them. And now, it's a good indication of where we're going to go playing Wire because we've got to play them again. You know, we've still got this tough period coming up where we're going to play 3 games in 10 days.
We look like we need a week off and we're going to have 3 games in 10 days.
And so this is a good one because at some point, people are going to start asking the question about what's this top 6 look like? And who are the people at risk of running out? And right now, it's starting to look like the people at the risk of being knocked out of the top 6, I would say are us. Leah looking like they're knocking on the door to come in. And the fact that Saints getting beat by 30 points to Toulouse, they're looking like they're going to drop out. So 40.
Kidding?
40-0.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, there's not a lot to say, but yeah, hopefully we've got some bodies back. And I fancy us. I still don't think we're up too much, but yeah, let's not disrespect them and let's hopefully not have that repeat. Shall we still the usual thing of we always get a response from Willie and we never have 2 bad games on a bounce?
Yeah.
We did win the game before against Hull. Even though we wasn't happy with the performance.
I'd take a loss this week if it means winning next week.
Yeah, so let's just see what happens. But yeah, should be a good one anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. On to us then. FC versus Lee. Saturday as well. We've got the later kick-off of our 5. So you'll be able to watch both games if you're interested. Just to preview this one, this is FC's annual Armed Force fixture. Loads of exciting stuff on match day, themed activities, exclusive ticket offer for military and emergency services personnel and veterans. The Early Bird will host God's sake, I can't get anything out. I'm trying to read. The Early Birds host Adrian Lamside at the MKM in round 19 as the club once again celebrates its historic relationship with the Armed Forces, a staple themed match day for many, many years at the MKM Stadium. That's how FC are putting it. So yeah, plenty to do. Smith and Nephew fan zone. Yeah, they'll have tanks and Armed Forces vehicles and stuff parked in West Park. So yeah, it'll be fun. It's great for the kids especially. So yeah, and that'll be where the fun ends.
Then the game starts.
And then kick off. I'll be honest, and people are going to slate me for saying this. Don't even want to go. Even as a season ticket holder, it's got to that point after watching that game against York and seeing how Leah building and building and building, and like you said, knocking on the door. It's not good. I don't think this is going to be fun for anyone other than a Leopards fan or a Rovers fan.
I mean,
not for us because we don't care.
Certainly not if the type of performance is similar. Yeah. If we turn that type of performance against Lee, I can see 40 comfortably.
Yeah, but I said that against Wigan a couple of weeks ago, where I thought Wigan were actually going to spank us, and we churned in a decent performance. So you just never know what's going to happen.
I think you'll win. I do.
You actually?
Yeah, I think that the players, because they just don't respect you as fans, I think they just like to tease you. So this week, Caesar and Afro look like the best halfback duo in the league, and everyone will get excited, and you'll beat Lee, and everyone will be like, so Hull can do it. And then you won't do it for the next 4 weeks after that.
See, with Caesar, I've reached the point now, we more or less know, it's not been confirmed, but we know he's going to York.
That's what we all believe, yeah.
I won't play him.
And that's why he was so terrible on Thursday, because he was doing his new club a favour.
Well, except from that try.
Apart from that try,
Yeah.
which was a superb try.
And I know it's hard to say it, he's getting paid, whatever, he's part of the playing squad, he's the captain, blah, blah, blah. The assumption is next season, I believe, that Arthur will get the 7 share if he stays with us, and Price will get the 6, and Hodgson will be the 1. Just let Arthur play 7, bring in Kemp to play 6, just let that go for the rest of the year. You'll get more art and desire out of Kemp than you will out of Caesar, and it gives Arthur a chance to prove that he's capable of leading the squad at 7.
Yeah, but there's an half decent pack in front of them, so they're not going to get run over like earlier in the year. So yeah, I can see that. I'm very much of the opinion if the player's going to be here next year, I'd rather they got the game time, especially if the youngsters, because it gives you a chance to see whether or not they've got it or not, whether or not they're capable at this level.
I think your big problem with that is that I think Caesar's got an attitude problem.
Really?
And then all of a sudden,
What makes you say
all of a
that?
sudden you want to try and blood youngsters, but you don't want to expose them too much. So you want to drip feed them in, and you've got a player who I think will spit his dummy out if you can even find it. He spits out that much in Caesar, and turn around and go, "No, I'm playing for you." And you maybe don't want Kemp to be in every single week for every single minute. So you're not wrong with you saying you'd like to blood them youngsters in, but. Did anybody, sorry on this point, did anybody watch the league game this weekend? I did not.
I'd say
Because they only just beat Cass in the end, didn't they, by 6 points, so
6
one converted
points,
try.
yeah.
Ryan Carr came out, the Cass coach, to complain they had 2 tries overturned, and Cass have been pretty dire. So are Lee maybe not the force that we thought they are, or I don't know. So maybe this isn't going to be all as doom and gloom as you think it is. Maybe Lee aren't quite clicking.
It could have just been one of them days at the office.
Maybe it's because within the last hour you've made me relive York away, and it's just put me on a proper Debbie Downer. Maybe that's why, I don't know. But yeah, I can't see a lot more than an FC loss. I know you're saying we might win, but and there's really not a lot to preview. I don't think there's anyone coming back. Yeah, I ain't got much to say about it.
No.
Top journalism from your favourite fan-run podcast.
So predictions then, no recap this week as
We all need a wee.
they all need a week, so I'm going to drag it out as long as I can. No, the St Helens game as it stands is still ongoing. So obviously we can't give you a score update, but it has closed the gap between the bottom 3. That's all I can say on that. Moving on to this week, Oddsall, Bradford versus Wakefield. I've got Wakefield by 22.
I've got Wakey by 14.
Wakey 16.
I can't find the picture.
Well, in that case then, Dean has Wakefield by 12.
Wakefield by 18.
Wakefield by 18. And
Yeah.
Susan's got Wakefield by
You have to
14.
do them two. They're not on the screen.
Oh, it doesn't matter, they're still part of this league. I'll drop them off next season. St Helens and Brewdog Stadium, St Helens versus Catalans. I'm actually going to change this based
So am
on
I.
how the
glad
game
I've
is
not
going
locked it
so
in.
far. I'm going to go for Catalan by 8.
Yeah, this was the only one I had left blank when I walked in today, and seeing this that's going on, I still think Saints are looking for a response despite the fact they're getting beat 46-0 now, and I don't think it'll be a run over like this.
Yeah.
I'm only going to go Catalan by 10, but it's definitely changed where my head was going.
Catalan by 12.
So I had Saints by 14. I'm not going to go as extreme as that because it is at Saints. I'm going to go Saints, but by 4.
Oh, okay.
I think they'll
Saints
nick
by
it
4.
all, and I think they'll respond to this.
Dean's
Right, hold
got
on.
Catalan by 4.
That's
Saints-
why I'm concerned.
Shit, they are.
No,
Catalan by 4.
he's done.
Catalan by 4.
Saints.
Catalan by
I
4.
said Saints.
God's sake. And
I wish I'd told you that.
Susan's the only one who hadn't changed. He's got St Helens
Well, it should be them.
by 10.
I love the fact he's not here.
Huddersfield AQ Stadium, Huddersfield versus Wigan, Wigan by 22.
Wigan by 18.
Wigan by 14.
Wigan by 28.
28. Dean's got Wigan by 20, and so has Susan. Warrington, Halliwell Jones, as we've already previewed. Warrington, Hull KR by 8.
KR by 8.
KR by 10.
KR by 8.
KR MKR by 8 as well by Jimmy. Dean's got Rovers by 8, and Susan's actually gone for Warrington by 6.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
The 5:30 game over at the Circle, the MKM, Hull FC versus Lee. I've got Lee by 14.
Lee by 16.
FC by 2.
Ooh.
Now on it for him, isn't it? That's right.
Lee by 20.
Ooh. I'm saying who, but Dean's got Lee by 22, and Susan's got Lee by 10. Stad Ennis well on Toulouse versus York. I've got Toulouse by 18.
Are we rethinking it after this?
No, I don't have them written down. I'm missing. I've only got 6 games. I generally don't have it written down. Who is it?
Toulouse and York.
That is a genuine mistake.
Toulouse by 10.
We'll come back to you then, Josh.
Yeah, sorry.
Jimmy?
Toulouse by 16.
Toulouse by 16. Dean's got Toulouse by 16, and Susan's got Toulouse by 8. Josh?
Toulouse by 15.
Right, okay then. Final one of the round, One Ball Stadium, Castleford versus Leeds. Leeds by 38.
Ooh.
I'm going big. I feel there's a big win coming.
Leeds by 14.
Leeds by 22.
Leeds by 22.
Leeds by 22.
Dean's got Leeds by 20, and Susan's got Leeds by 18. And that rounds up the predictions for this week.
Wonderful. So we'll be able to give people a bit of an update next week, and it'll be 2 weeks worth
It'll be a
of
2 week worth
maybe
update,
some
yeah.
big changes. So we'll see where we're going.
Hopefully not. I'm very nearly bottom.
Perfect. Right, we're going to wrap up shortly. Just a message for viewers and listeners first. So it has obviously been noticeable that we've been absent of Dean of late. I know that it's been mentioned to me in person several times, and I know some of you guys have said to me off camera that at games and in the street people have asked where Dean is, and then also asked what's the crack with new people filling in. Now Abel's here and it's becoming more frequent. So we'll announce properly now that Dean has made the decision to step away from his presenting duties. Decision he's made for himself, and one that we obviously all support. Dean's not leaving the podcast. You know, we're joking about him being behind the counter, but he's going to take on his producer role. This is going to help us massively. It's not just Susan running around behind there now. There's going to be 2 of them, and there is actually a lot more that goes into this than just us 4, me, talking shit every week. It really does need a lot of effort, and having 2 people is really going to help, and this is what's best for Dean as well. So whilst we're going to miss him, and I'm going to love the fact that I can say stuff that he can't reply to because he's not sat here with us and he's not mic'd up, we do obviously wish him all the best for his new role as producer, and we will always mention him and joke about him going forward. On the flip side of that, it means that we're able to announce that Abel is going to be our permanent FC co-host with Jimmy. Finding his feet now, slipping in there. He'll soon get to start ragging me and Craig back. I think you haven't quite found that part yet, Abel, but a good addition to our podcast. So these faces that you see now and the voices that you're hearing, these should be set in concrete from now till the end of the year, and you won't see any changes. Probably won't see any changes past that.
Touch wood.
Yeah, but you never know. But that's what's going on with Dean, that's what's going on with Abel. So, yeah, everybody's informed.
It is what it is.
RIP to Dean's presenting career, eh?
Did
The
it ever
king
really
is
get
dead.
off the ground?
Long live the king. So yeah, as always then, just want to say thank you to our sponsors. So thank you to Comscarf, thank you to 7 Gold, but then as always, thank you to Tribal, the home of the pod. We can't do this well if we're not, you know, at home here, if we're not fed, watered, and we're not set up the way we are. So we just want to say a big thank you to them as always. And then to you guys, however you consume this media, make sure whatever platform you view or listen it through, that you like, subscribe, and if you are on YouTube, you do give us a hype. It does help us out. It's going to be a bit disjointed for the next few weeks because some of us are deciding to nip off to different places, but we will get episodes out, hopefully with all of us, but maybe missing a few of us at times, but there will still be content for you guys to take on. Make sure the comments keep coming in. Yeah, and that's it. So I'll be the first one to say today. See you bye.
See you bye.
See you bye.
See you, bye.